What's going on, guys? My name is Mike Sabo here with Basket Case Garage. The Raptor 660 is notorious for having transmission issues, specifically with second gear. So I figured I would go ahead. I've got an 01 style transmission here and an 02 to 05 style transmission. Those are the two different styles that you might find in your Raptor 660. Also, if you have your bottom end broken down, it might be a good idea to check and see what transmission you have inside your engine, no matter what year you think your quad is, because people have swapped them out, and that's actually the case that I had with this engine right here. I just want to go ahead and show you the differences between the two gear sets so that if you do have your engine apart, you don't know what year you have in there, you can at least identify it and know what you have. All right, guys, I've got both transmissions laid out here. All of the components on the left side are the 02 to 05, and on the right side are the 01. So this is all 01. This is 01, this is 01, and so on. So there's a couple things here right off the bat. If you got your transmission, the easiest giveaway are these little grooves. If you look in the gear, see how they're split? And there's that little groove there. I believe those are called identification grooves. Some people call them oil grooves. I say they're for lubrication. I'm not 100% sure on that. I know them as identification grooves. So you can see they're not on every gear, but they are on a number of the gears. This is the 02. You can see, or yeah, 02 plus. You can see this one has it here, but this one doesn't. But you just want to make sure that the grooves are at least on some of the gears, and that's a giveaway that you've got the 02 to 05. If they're all smooth, like on this transmission, you see none of these gears have the identification grooves. That's an 01. Now, beyond that, it's always good to just, check everything, because maybe you have some identification grooves, something was replaced, I don't know. But another thing to check is your second and fourth gear. So on the input shaft, these are the input shafts here, these are the output shafts. On your input shaft, you've got, I believe this is second gear and this is fourth gear. So we'll start with the 01. So on the 01, you can see fourth gear, these recessions. There are 6 recessions on the 01. Now if you look at the 02 to 05, you can see there's less recessions. See how much wider the gap is there? If there's only 4 of these recessions, then you've got the 02 to 05. You can see more recessions on this one on the right. The one that's spinning right now, that is the 01. And then of course, second gear is the one my thumb is on. These are second gear. The dogs are going to mate up as well. So you can see there's only 3 dogs on second gear on the 01. And then on 02 to 05, there are 4 dogs. So that's an easy way to identify if you've got a new or an old style transmission. Now these big gears here, these are first gear. The 01 style is going to be different than the 02 style. I don't know the actual number of teeth here. I guess you could count it and find out which one you have. That's not really one of the things I would look at for an indicator. The other two are much easier to see, but these are different. The different gear ratios for first, second, third, and reverse, depending on which, if you have the older or newer style. And then as far as the forks go, the left and right, they are both the same, but the center fork is different. So you can see the one on the left is for the 02 to 05. The one on the right is the 01. This one just says C. This one says C10, and it's a little bit narrower between these forks. One says 5LP6, the other one says 5LP5. The shift drums and shift shafts and everything else are interchangeable. And just to show you guys what can cause your transmission not to want to go into second gear, it can be as simple as this little bit of rub mark right here. You can barely even feel it. It's maybe half of a millimeter sunken in there. And believe it or not, just that little bit of rubbing on this one fork will cause the transmission not to shift into second. The rest of the forks were in perfect condition, and this would not shift into second. So if you're putting your transmission back together and you've got a little bit of rubbing like that, I would highly recommend going ahead and replacing this. Even if you are still going to use your old transmission and not update it, just replace it and put some new forks in there, and then you don't have to worry about it. Some other things to check before you put your transmission back in are the dogs. The dogs are these blocky portions that go up, and they fit into those open slots. Let me see if I can get this to focus on the gear that it meshes with. So you can see if I go like that, it won't go in, but when it goes like this, we can mesh it up like so, and then it locks into place. Now what'll happen is the edges will start to round off, from trying to shift it into gear, maybe not using the clutch right, and it's sliding and hitting, and that can cause wear on those dogs and cause the gear. Usually what will happen is it won't fully engage. It might go, you know, halfway in, and then when you start putting power on it, it wants to pop out of place. So you want to make sure that these are nice and square. Usually you can see they'll be slightly rounded. They don't really need too much, and it'll still cause slipping, but they'll be slightly rounded, and the edges will be really shiny. So just really, you got to take a really close look at that stuff, because transmissions can be really sensitive, especially in the Raptor 660. Okay guys, so those are your main differences in the Raptor 660 transmission. Just to recap, you're gonna have different gear ratios for first, second, third, and reverse. The 01 transmission is notorious for having issues with second gear. So if you're ever looking on eBay or something, I've already seen the 01 transmissions referred to as 01 to 05, or they don't know what they have. So it's good to just be armed with this knowledge so that you can even look at pictures and identify if it's an 02 plus. Those are the ones that are worth the money. Personally, I would not buy an 01 style transmission unless you're desperate, because they're just prone to failure. If it has an upgraded gear, there was a company called Yukon that was making upgraded gears for them for a while. I don't know if they still make them, but if you could find an 01 with Yukon gears, then I would say go ahead and get it. But how to identify that, really not sure. Anyways, good luck with your engine build. I will have a full engine build step-by-step on how to build a Raptor 660 engine. It'll be on this particular engine right here. If the video is out, it will be linked in the description below. You can also follow the series where I build this entire machine. It came basically from a scrapyard. It was ready to be thrown into the shredder, man. This thing was totally wasted. It's called the ASPCA Raptor, and it's a really cool series. You guys should check it out. If this video helped you out in any way, shape, or form, please consider hitting that thumbs up button and leave a comment in the comment section below if you have any more knowledge or information on the Raptor 660 transformation. Let us know your stories about your horror stories of blowing second gear or having issues with reverse on the Raptor 660. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.